Hola, ¿cómo está Las Vegas? And welcome to Face the Tribune with the legendary Rolando Larraz. I am your co-host, Chris Garcia, and we have a special guest today. His name is Dr. Stefan Schweizer, and he is from Germany, and he is a journalist, and he is also a teacher of political science. Welcome. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
All right, and with that, Rolando, how are you feeling today?
I feel great. I feel very, very happy to see Donald Trump arriving in Washington, D.C. today, and it really, I got too much hope. I got too much expectation about this whole thing, and I'm still wondering if it's going to happen, because you know how I feel. I feel that this Obama doesn't want to give up the presidency, and he got a bunch of people antagonizing the nation with innuendos and. I look at what happened with the Congress. 62 people, 62 elected officials are refusing to accept the fact that Donald Trump is the new president of the United States. He won the election by what is being in practice for many, many years. I never understood that, but why, if always it's been the electoral vote, now they don't want the electoral vote. They want the popular vote. So make up your mind. What do you want to do? You wanted to have electoral vote, or you wanted to have the popular vote?
That's right. That's right. Well, they wanted it like that when they won. When they lost, now they want to change the system. So you know how it is.
So, how's the politics in Germany?
Well, we in Germany are not too happy, or many people in Germany are not too happy with Chancellor Angela Merkel because of letting all those refugees come into Germany. So that's what Donald Trump also recently said, and that was a big mistake.
It is.
Many people in Germany think so too. And we've had some Islamic terrorist attacks in Germany, and it came out that those people came in as refugees before, as a result of Chancellor Merkel's refugee policies.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that anybody that have a little bit of common sense, it has to be against all this. And they tell you that it's children's, but I don't see any children in those lines. I don't see children crossing the border. They all adult, mainly male adult from the age of 18 or 20 to 50 or so. Very well possible can be terrorists.
True.
So why open the door of your place to the enemy? You know, and I think the Democrats, the liberals wanted to make this the only country with no borders. Every country has a border. Do you got borders in Germany?
Not anymore. We've got the European Union, so you can travel anywhere inside the European Union without a passport or anything. But so Trump is doing or planning to do the opposite thing, right? He wants to have a big wall protecting America against Mexican or South American immigrants.
Like that. Always has been a border. There's always been the guards in the border. I don't know how big the wall was, because I never been. You want me to get closer? Huh? Oh, okay. You know, you pay her a lot of money, and then she tried to boss you around. You know.
I think that what happens in the world in history, I don't think people have learned from history. And I know because he's from the Deutschland, I think you know history very well. This is what leads to the rise of leaders like Adolf Hitler.
Yep.
And that's happening again in Germany.
True.
As well as what's happening in Britain.
Yep.
The same thing. They're about to leave the European Union. When you forget about your own people, it leads to the rise of leaders like Donald Trump.
Yep.
And people that want to secure their borders.
Yep.
And then what happens is, unfortunately, because I studied Adolf Hitler a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
And more because I don't believe I don't believe in the history books all of the time. There was genius in what he did, and there was insanity in what he did. And if you honestly talk to most Germans off camera, they will tell you that there was genius. He repaired that country from ruin and made them one of the most powerful countries in the world. A single man, a single movement. They were in debt. I mean, you know what the situation was there economically. They were a third world country after World War I. And that's how he came into power, because what led to a lot of the wars and was immigration. Was a lot of Jews moving into Germany. They weren't taking care of their own people. And that's what the Nazi Party began to. They wanted to represent the common German.
Yeah, but basically, yeah.
Now, once he got into power,
you can disagree.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Once they got into power, now did his mindset and the things he wanted to do go too far? That's when the insanity came in. But actually, when he started the Nazi Party, it was a very popular movement, and it restored German pride. People went back to work. They had the #1 auto industry in the world.
Yeah.
Their military was over the United States. They had the #1 military in the world. Now, what he did with that, instead of doing good things with that, was he then began to look and say, well, now I want to make it an empire. Now I want to conquer my surrounding, people. Because he had grudges.
The military was
The #1.
they have the obligation to go to serve.
In Germany at the time, I'm not sure about that. Was there a draft? Did people volunteer? What?
At the beginning, it was volunteering, but when the war started, it wasn't voluntarily.
That's
anymore.
why the army was better. Over here, it was draft.
Mm-hmm.
You was obligated.
Yes.
It's the same thing that happened in Cuba. Cuba, you have to have pull. You have to have connections with the government to become in the military. It was not obligated by force.
Yeah.
Because most human beings, regardless what country you're from, you don't like to be forced to do something.
Yes.
And the military over here was not that great. It's better now that they don't have the draft.
Yes.
Do you notice that?
Absolutely, Rolando. My fear is I believe that, because I don't think that Donald Trump is as far right wing as people think. I think he's actually more moderate. He's more centrist. But I believe in this country, and I believe it's happening in Britain, and I believe it's going to happen in Germany, and I think it's going to happen all over the world. You're going to see a lot of far-right extreme people come into power. It's happening in Australia. It's happening all over the world. They want these immigrants out of their country. It is okay to help people, but when you have people of your own race in your own country starving and they can't work, it's something wrong with that politics. Take care of Americans first. If you live in Germany, take care of Germans first.
And that's why I always said you have charity start at home.
Absolutely.
And how can you give me food if you don't have food?
That's right.
I mean, the most popular party right now, called AfD, Alternative for Germany, is a right-wing, right populist party, and they're very popular. There'll be elections in fall this year, and people think that they might get 25 to 33%. So yeah, that's how serious it is. And those people, they openly sympathize with Adolf Hitler, the Nazis, the hooligans, all those right-wing movements. And so that's what scares a lot of people. But as you said, many Germans feel disregarded by the government right now. They don't get what the immigrants get.
It's going to be a democratic regime, or it's going to be a dictatorial regime?
It's going to be a democratic vote, but the party who is in power then, you never know what happens. It's not going to be the AFD in this election, but maybe with the next election.
Because the Nazis lost 2 elections first.
Exactly.
And then he finally won. It's coming back, and you can...
Because, like, for example, in Venezuela, Marcos Pérez Jiménez, back in the 50s, they called him a dictator because he took the government by force, the same way Batista took the government by force in Cuba. But it was a right dictatorship. It was from the right. It was democracy, like you said, but it was the same ruler.
Yes.
Now you have Muro, I forgot his first name, in Venezuela. He is a leftist. He's a communist. Same thing with Castro. Same thing with, and this is what the United States do not want to accept, the fact that everybody surrounding the United States has become a communist regime.
Yes.
Bolivia.
Yes.
Venezuela. I don't know about Colombia too much, but I don't think Colombia will. It is leftist because the drug cartels will not allow that to happen.
Now, you still got the FARC, F-A-R-C in Colombia, the leftist communist revolution. So Colombia still is right-wing orientated, but most probably because the cartels wanted to have it that way.
Yeah.
See, Obama studied. We know about him in Chicago a lot, and he studied socialism. He is a definite socialist president. So is Angela Merkel. In a lot of ways. That's what
she came from East Germany. She was socialized that way. Yeah.
So that's what leads to either extreme, which I think one extreme is communism, and then I think the other extreme is dictatorship. That's what socialism leads to extremes, because what happens is in a socialist program is that you try to take care of everybody. And
I believe that communists is always have the tendency to be dictatorship.
Yes.
For some reason, I noticed that most communist countries are ruled by dictatorship.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's the way that I see it. And then democracy, well, you got I don't know, because I always believe that the Senate and the Congress in the United States always been pink. They're not red yet, but they are becoming very close. You got Bernie Sanders, and you got but the funny part of the thing is communism is supposed to be something that everybody's supposed to be equal. Everybody has to be in the same level, but they all millionaires. And then they talk about, I was listening to Chuck Schumer today, and he said, all these millionaires, then Donald Trump. Well, what are you? What are you? What is Harry Reid? Harry Reid is a millionaire too. And that's why I said in my last article, why nobody asked him to show his tax return? Nobody ever asked. He asked everybody. He asked Romney. He asked Tom. Why don't you ask Harry Reid his tax return? He was broke when he went into
not anymore.
into comedy,
He's rich now.
He probably is billionaire, probably.
Yeah, he's rich.
You know, and that's the way I see the thing. You know,
right.
Yeah, I don't think it really affects that much at the normal, average, regular person like we are. You know, but once you get to a certain level of the economy or your financial level, I think it affects one way or the other one very much. For us, if we don't work, we don't have money. If we work, we got money a little bit.
But why did those people in Germany? It's said that most Trump voters are the forgotten people. You know, some poor people. Some people working hard, working hard, earning less, high taxation and all that, and they don't want that anymore. They want to be taken care of the infrastructure and town.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know, because I got too many crazy ideas. I'm crazy anyway. But I believe that what people are getting tired is of this elected officials lying to them. They insult the intelligence of the human being by telling, oh, this is the way it is, and then they do something different. They don't like to be mockery anymore. That's what it is. More than the financial is just the idea, you know, please do not insult my India. That's what I keep saying every week, you know. Tell the truth. It's a good example is this Chuck Schumer, Harry Reid, or Hillary Clinton, what she was saying all the time. All those millionaires, all those wealthy people. What are you? You are a wealthy person. You're more than wealthy.
Absolutely.
Please don't insult my intelligence, you know. And that's what the people are getting tired of that.
Absolutely.
They're getting tired of being treated like we are ignorant. Right. We don't know what's going on. Right. And it's not true. It's a lot of people that are very, very well educated. I'm not talking about intelligence. I'm talking about being educated. It's two different things, you know. And also, intelligence have to do help. But if you don't read and you don't study, you don't get educated, your intelligence will be wasted or it will be used for criminal acts. You know, because some of those criminals are very intelligent people, very, very well Machiavellic, you know, and that's the way I see it. You know, doesn't mean that I am right. I'm just saying that that's the way I see it. You know, and now we gotta hope that Trump delivered the goods that he sold to the American people.
I think that question you asked, Rolando is absolutely right. And that question that you asked, I think that this is a vote. This is the dirty little secret that people don't want to talk about, and that's the New World Order. There was a New World Order. The G13 that didn't allow Russia in, didn't allow China in, didn't allow a lot of, it was a New World Order. It was going to be a socialist idea, and they're intelligent. You're absolutely right, Rolando. But see, the problem is this. By the time you realize that you've been lied to, they got your vote already, right? So then in 4 years, they need a whole new wave of stupid people that are thankful to be in your country that will vote for you again because you let them in. So you can stay in power by just letting waves of immigrants come in. You give them IDs and Social Security cards. That's who are they going to vote for? They're going to vote for the party that gave them a new hope and a new land. Who are those people going to vote for?
That's why they wanted to do it. That's
People are smart.
That's why they want to do it that
That's
way.
what it is.
They wanted to get it over here, and even if you're not entitled to that citizenship, they're gonna give it
They're
to
going to
you.
give it to you.
As a matter of fact, in the last election, we saw that trucks, buses full of people from California coming over here to vote,
Mexicans,
and 3 or 4 or 5 different voting places, and then they send it back. They send it back to it's a fact.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yes.
Serious.
Incredible.
Yes, incredible, man. What's going on?
They stay in the Vegas war.
That was done by the Democrats.
Yes.
Right? Just to get it
Yes.
right. Okay.
And the middle class, and I'm not politically correct, white Americans that work in the coal mines and the steel mills and have seen their jobs go away. They hadn't said enough, like Rolando said, stop lying to us. Stop lying to us. And they came out and voted for Trump, and they didn't say nothing. They didn't talk to people.
No,
They kept it to themselves, but when they went in that voting booth, they said no more, we're tired of it. And this country is still shocked.
Yeah.
They cannot believe that he won.
Europe as well. You know, yeah.
Rolando was one of the few and first people, this man right here. Because even me and her and my wife, I couldn't believe it. I was a Trump supporter, but I told them, I said, no way, Rolando. No way. Rolando said, I'm telling you, the people are going to vote for him. He said, Chris, listen to me. My wife she said, listen to me.
But this still doesn't explain how Trump won the power within the Republican Party. How he could.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He didn't. He did.
So how was he nominated?
He fought against the Republican Party the entire way.
Yeah.
It was a conspiracy to keep him out of office. The people voted.
Let me explain something to you. These all Republicans and Democrats, they all the same. They like to be in control. The same way that it happened with the media, the liberal media. They don't want to give up what they have.
Yeah, true.
And Donald Trump came because they knew that Donald Trump was not going to allow them to keep doing what they was doing.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't mean that in 3 years from now he changed and he became one of them. But that's how he got to be there. He's the only person, never been a city council, never been a mayor, never been a county commissioner, never been an assemblyman in the state assembly, never been a representative. He got no experience whatsoever. And people, of course, he is a good talker.
Yeah.
He definitely is a good talker.
Aren't his ties to economics too close to be dangerous for democracy? You know, he is a businessman, and he can also.
I think that's why people like him. Because they look at him and they say, if he can do for his company, what he can do for this country, that's what we need. We need somebody who can create jobs.
And also, let me tell you something, and people don't realize that. I'd rather have the government facilitate you $5 million where you can go and open, I'm using a small amount so we can, you can go open a hotel. Well, by the time the hotel is being built, they got people working. By the time the hotel is built, you're going to have maids, bellmen, waiters, all that stuff. Is people working. What are you going to do? You give me $1 million, you $1 million, you $1 million, and it lasts me 2 years, and then what?
Yes.
You know, I'd rather see the money go to a person like Donald Trump that can build and rebuild and flourish the economy than to have. And that's what the Democrats do. They give you $300 in food stamp. They give you $200 in welfare check. and have the people watching TV, don't bother. They're watching opera all day long, and they don't bother with anything. You talk to any of those people about politics, forget about it.
Right.
You know, and now they are coming out, they are talking because they are in the midst of losing that check.
That's right. That's right.
But now, talking about the check and the food stamps, many of those poor people you're talking about, they use their food stamps and checks to buy drugs and watch TV.
Oh yeah.
So, do you think Trump is going to be a new Richard Nixon, like he's going to enforce the war on drugs in the U.S.?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know if he's going to. I don't think anybody can do anything about drugs. That's just me personally. But I think that what he will do is he will enforce.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that he will be tough on people selling. He will be tough on people convicted.
Mm-hmm.
He will be tough on this ring around the rosy thing of people coming in and out, in and out, in and out. I think he will give harsh sentences. But I also think, as harsh as he will be on that, he's been meeting with a lot of African Americans. I'm sure you've been watching the news. He's had the Trump Towers.
Mm-hmm.
He is very serious
Mm-hmm.
about rebuilding these inner cities
Yeah.
and putting minorities back to work. So he's the type of man that feels like, I want to give you every opportunity to have a job and to change your life. But if you don't take it and you continue to do what you've been doing, I'm going to be tough on you.
Yeah, but don't you think that the deal, the stuff with the drugs is more like a state?
A federal thing.
Well, federal, the president can get involved, but local, like city or county, most places, most normal places, they have a police department and they got a sheriff's department. This is the only crazy town that don't have both, only have one, because everybody's infatuated with power. Everybody wants to be in control. Why do you think the Spanish people don't get along? Why? Because they all want to be the president, they all want to be the leader, they all, and that's not only the Spanish, I should not say that, because I just noticed now they are going to come out with a new Chamber of Commerce. It's called the Real Chamber of Commerce. If you are not happy, like most of us are, we're not happy with the Chamber of Commerce because they only serve those millionaires and the strip, the casino owners, and they like to mingle with the power. That's why one of the reasons that I took all my pictures out of the wall. I got pictures with Oscar Goodman, I got pictures with Karen Goodman, I got pictures with Larry Weekly, But to me, that is only to, I don't know, I have a friend that was a bullshitter. He was a complete bullshitter, a con man, and he got pictures of all these entertainers in his office. He get a new office, and the first thing he do is fill up the wall with his pictures, because he want to impress. Well, lucky for me, I never been to impress anybody. I don't need to impress anybody. If you cannot deal with me the way I am, don't deal with me. Period. And that's the way I always been. But people always say, let's take a picture. Remember when we got that lady from the county commission, Chris G. We forgot to take picture with her. And everybody, then you go to any radio station, they got a guest, and they put a picture of the guest, important or not important. They put pictures of, because that's the way, I guess that's the way we all been used to. But like that lady, that Cuban lady, well, I got a picture with Donald Trump. deal. Big deal. You know? Well, you don't have a picture with Donald Trump. I don't want a picture with Donald Trump. All I want is for Donald Trump to do the job that he said he's going to do. Period.
Yeah, I think it's the beginning of the end of a lot of these socialist governments all over the world. I think Germany will be the next to fall. I forget what's the party in Britain. Was it Brixton or Brix? What's the name of the government that's
the Tories?
That's coming to power, and they're very right wing in their own. They want out the European Union. They want to go back to the old ways, the way England did business, and
that's the way it should be.
It's happening everywhere.
Why do you want to have a country that everybody can walk in and out?
The European Union is a disaster.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is a complete disaster. You got no control. You got no regulation. You got no knowledge of who is in your country, which is the most dangerous, I think, nowadays.
But on the other hand, you got free business. You got free economies. You got no taxation. You can do business within Europe without taxation and all that stuff.
Yeah, and who built the roads and who built the? How did they build it?
Well, part of the money comes from the European Union again. From the taxpayers.
Well, that's taxpayer, that is taxation.
Yeah. But I mean, they built the roads here from the taxpayers too, right?
They do? I forgot what I saw it.
If it's a private highway or whatever, they do as well, I think.
Yeah. I think what's happening in Greece and what's happening in a lot of countries, people are looking at that and saying, I don't want that to happen. I mean, Germany is one of the strongest 3 or 4 economies in the world, and I just think it's ridiculous. She's letting those people in over there, and they're not even being vetted, man. It's just streams of people coming in from Syria. There's no doubt they're terrorists mixed in.
Yeah, they are.
They're coming in. That's just insane.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to generalize, but it's obvious that they are. And then they said, they children. It's like the same thing with the Mexicans. They send the children by themselves. Right. Lies. Yeah. No children. Nobody gonna send their children all by themselves. They come with the father and the mother and the grandmother and the whole family. I don't believe that it should be that way. I don't believe they should be that way.
I think that it's actually the opposite. I think that Obama and Angela Merkel and people like that are the great speakers. I don't think Donald Trump was a great orator. I think that that's what got him into so much trouble, is that he was not politically correct. He said what was on his mind, but American people are smart enough to know, even though he doesn't talk pretty, he's actually telling the truth. When he says we need to close our borders, that sounds racist. It's not racism, Rolando. What is racist about that? Every time you say anything against Obama, you're a racist, right, Rolando? If you say anything against him,
you should be a half racist because he's half black.
If you say anything against Obama, and they use that. They use that. They play to people's heartstrings. Oh my God, he doesn't want the black stuff. Oh, they're crazy.
And Obama, the tensions between Afro-Americans and white people were very, very tense, actually.
It was under him. Worse.
Yeah, it didn't get better, did it? I followed that. I lived in the States during that time.
And he played that. He plays that card.
And you know why? Let me tell you why. Human beings, regardless of the color, the race, the nationality, people don't like to be pushed something they don't want.
That's right, Rolando.
And that's the reason why. That's the reason why Mexican people are not getting to be such a well-liked anymore, because the media, the government, they always pushing Mexican. Yes. The TV, I understand they are Mexican-owned TV, but Jesus Christ, if you're going to be in the media, try to be a little bit more fair and put news. All the news they put in TV, I've been watching Spanish TV now periodically more often than I ever done before. But because we have somebody in my house that watch TV and Spanish TV, and that's the way I go eat dinner and I see but all you do is Mexico, 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 Mexico. Mexicans are not the only Spanish people living in the United States. And that's what bothers me. And the same thing happened with the blacks. Look at the commercials.
That's right.
They put a black with a white or a white with a black. No matter if it's a male black and female white or vice versa. Don't force me.
That's right.
Make it normal, make it look,
that's right.
It's like somebody tell you, you have to drink this, you have to drink that. I don't want to drink that, and that's what bothers people.
That's right.
Being forced.
Yeah.
I've always believed that. I think that, and I actually did a thesis on this when I was in college. They said, well, how much did the civil rights really change the United States? I said, you know what, that would have happened normally. It would have happened normally. People would have integrated normally with one another over the generations.
In fact, let me tell you.
There was more of a backlash against it than if we just let it happen.
Let me tell you, I think if they would have not pushed it that much,
yes,
it would be less crazy.
Absolutely.
Because I remember
absolutely
when there was a time where it was, when you see a white woman with a black man, it was like, let me do that because I want to be different,
right. Right.
Now, it's not different
right.
now. And that's what,
just let it happen.
It used to, I remember when I used to be friends with Sammy Davis Jr. He was a movie star.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember when he played at the Sands, and he cannot stay at the Sands.
Mm-hmm.
He had to live in the west side, in the what they call the black area. Right. I used to drive him over there. And I think as a retaliation, the black people now they can get into those places and they want to be tough. They want to be, they don't behave like normal people. They behave like tough gangsters, and that's what is turning the people against them.
See, I think you're absolutely right, Rolando, and I think one of the big things that irks people, okay, even though they don't want immigration, okay, and you forced it down our throats and we're going to accept it, when you get to our countries, would you please assimilate? Would you please learn our language? If you're in France, learn French. If you're in Germany, learn.
That's exactly.
Would you please assimilate? We're not in Syria.
You
don't want to come to our market in your specific streets and have to speak Syrian. You're in our country. If I go to Syria, I'm going to learn Syrian.
Exactly.
When you come to my country, because your country's crap, so that's why you come to my country, assimilate. Dress the way we dress. Talk the way we talk. We don't want to see all those scarves and all that stuff on your head because it scares us. It scares people. People don't want to say that, but people don't want to see that. It's not racist.
Did you see that on TV the other day? That soldier dressed on the military uniform with his scarf.
Oh my God!
Because the government had to bend and facilitate him because he's a religious man. I don't give a damn if he's a religion or he's not. This is the way the army works. This is the way the army dress, and you have to dress if you want to be in the army. If not, get the hell out of here. That's the problem.
That's right.
Let me get back to politics. In Europe, it's that, and
that's politics.
World politics. So people in Germany or journalists in Germany say that the Russians influenced the elections in the U.S. To make Trump win, and also there's some blackmailing stuff, maybe with prostitutes or whatever. What do you think about that? Fake news, or are they fake?
No, I think it's not fake news. It's news because they want to brainwash the people. That's what it is.
Okay.
And I tell you the truth, if they will know, if they will stop and think about it, they will stop doing that. Because what does that tell you about the national security of this country? If somebody from another country can hack, how come they didn't hack Trump organization? They couldn't.
Yeah.
They couldn't hack the Republican Party, or because like that guy, I can't pronounce his name, they used to be the chairman of the Republican Party, and now he's going to go to work Pensley or Ryan, I forgot his name now. I can't pronounce his name. He used to be the Republican chairman, and now he's going to be chief of staff for Donald Trump.
So do you think the relationship between Trump and Putin or USA and Russia are going to be good under Trump or not?
I think absolutely. Yeah. First of all, this is my own opinion. Do I think that the Russians had something to do with the election? 150%.
Okay.
But you know what? Oh, absolutely. But that's the pot color black, because the United States affects every single election around the world. There is no one elected, including Vladimir Putin, around the world that the CIA didn't have something to do with. Absolutely. Yeah. That's why he hates the United States, because Obama was actively trying to get him out of office, trying to get him assassinated.
Yeah, but I didn't think
every single, there is not even in the smallest African nation is a Zulu leader become leader of a party without the United States having something to do with it. We affect every single election.
Because when they want to put Fidel Castro in Cuba, they did put Fidel Castro in Cuba.
You know that.
The only problem is that Fidel Castro said, and did it to them.
Yeah.
You know.
I think we had a cozy relationship, because I always say it comes down to relationships. You know, everything, we can talk about TV and we can talk about, you know what? Sometimes you just meet a guy and you have a beer or a glass of vodka and you just like him. And I think that Rex Tillerson, you know where I'm going with this. Vladimir Putin does not give medals of friendship away lightly. Rex Tillerson and him just hit it off. When the leader, that he was head of ExxonMobil at the time, and when he would go over there and visit Vladimir Putin, they would spend hours together.
Okay.
They would drink, they would go out, and they just liked each other. So that's why Donald Trump chose him as Secretary of State, because they have such a good relationship. And he hated Obama. Putin would not even shake his hand when they met. The meeting would be over, and what are the people that say your language to the other person, the translators, and Putin would turn around and walk out.
Is that because he's a racist?
No. He had no respect for Barack Obama whatsoever. None.
I think because, just as you mentioned, because Obama tried to get him out of
office. He knows that.
By every meeting.
He knows that. He tried to have the Ukraine army overthrow Putin, and Putin's not dumb. Putin knew what he was trying to do. That's why he attacked the Ukraine. Putin knew what Obama was trying to do. Obama thinks he's slick. He thinks he's the smartest person in the world. And he's not. Putin's not dumb. But the whole time, see, I don't think this Trump administration, I don't think this is just, I think they've been planning this for a long time.
Yeah. But that's a point people in Europe are very scared about. People in Europe think that Trump is going to minimize U.S. military forces in Europe, and let Putin and Russia take over control about Estonia, Lithuania, and all that. That's going to happen?
Absolutely. That's absolutely going to happen.
Yeah,
do I think
we're so scared of
Do I think the world is going to be at war maybe in 10 or 15 years? Absolutely. It's going to happen. If you follow history, it just goes around. This has been building since the end of the Cold War. This chess game is about to come to head. And people are taking sides, and I think specifically
And you know,
Trump is going to side with Putin.
every X amount of years,
they're going to team up.
every X amount of
Yes.
years has to be a war.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
that's
And Germany's never been friends with Russia. Never.
No.
So they are watching what's going on because Putin is an expansionist. He wants to expand that empire. He wants the old Soviet Union to come back together. And Germany is worried about that. They are. So while Merkel is letting these people in, the people there are saying, do you see what the hell is going on? Do you see what's going on up north in Russia? We had better get our country back together. Britain is ahead of Germany as far as this thinking. Britain sees what's going on. They see it.
But interestingly, Vladimir Putin pays the AfD, the right-wing German party, to come into power, to make a strong nationalist
That's
movement.
the insanity of things. Who was Hitler friends with? Stalin.
Yeah.
They were best of friends.
Yeah.
But eventually, you're so crazy you don't trust your friends.
True.
You start looking at you and saying, well, you want to run the world. I want to run the world. So then you strike first. But at the beginning, these nuts all become friends.
Mm-hmm.
Trump, Putin, I believe even the leader of China, I think they will all become friends before we have our next world war.
Okay.
I think that's what's going to happen. And I think, yes, absolutely, they're going to support right-wing governments, all because they think alike.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like the socialist presidents were all coming together.
Mm-hmm.
These right-wing leaders, they all are friends. They all feel the same way. Let's close our borders. Let's take care of our people. Let's strengthen our military. But what happens then? Then you sit there and you look at the chessboard and say, well, I can take this back. I can take this back. And that's what's going to happen 10, 15 years down the road. Russia's going to say, well, Estonia was part of Russia. Lithuania was part.
Still a lot of Russians living
Really?
there.
And a lot of them are still loyal to Moscow.
Yeah. True.
A lot of Ukrainians are still loyal to Moscow.
True.
Yeah.
So it's going to happen again. We're going to have a third
But
world
the only
war.
problem that I
No
see
doubt.
with that is the longer it takes, the less loyalty will you find.
Mm-hmm.
The more time pass by, the less sympathy or the less loyalty is the word they will have for Moscow.
Yeah.
So you see no economical conflict with China, between the US and China? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you also say there'll be a union together with Russia, USA, China, Russia.
I think the U.S. and Russia will partner.
Mm-hmm.
Putin never trusted China.
Mm-hmm.
China realized that.
And the United
The
States
United
don't
States don't
trust
trust
China.
China.
Mm-hmm.
We need China because China makes cheap products.
Right.
That's why
Mhm.
Russia. That's why we need China. But Putin never trusted China.
Never.
Never. And he's going to side with the United States. China's looking at the chessboard. Why do you think we're making calls? He's making private calls
Yeah.
to the president of what's that country?
Taiwan.
Taiwan. Why do you
Yeah.
think we're doing that?
Yeah.
Right? We're pissing
Yeah.
him off already.
Wow,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And he's pissed
It's a
because
chessboard.
he met with that pretty female.
Why do you
president.
think China is building fake islands
Mm-hmm.
all off their board? They know this war is coming. It's building. It's building slowly. It's simmering right now. And there are certain countries I'm watching that are getting ahead of the game. Britain, the U.S., Germany had better wake up. And I think that 25% is going to be 40, 50% a couple of years from now. They're starting to see what's going on. And this third war is coming.
Yeah.
And they had better ally themselves with certain other countries because they don't want to find themselves against Russia and the United States. They had better side with the United States and with it's coming. That's why Putin is supporting that group in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it first breaks out, you need allies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russia needs Germany in the beginning. They need them because they're the strongest country besides them. They need them in Europe. Now, once they get finished with them, now those two will, just like they did 60, 70 years ago, they will head off.
Yeah.
Right? What will be interesting to me is which side will the United States take. Because that's going to happen.
I mean, the United States are very, very safe because they are so far away from everything. Yeah.
Well, let me give you my impression about that. The United States will play both sides. Like they always
Like they did in World War II.
Like
People
they
didn't know they
always
did. They played both sides.
They played both
They
sides.
sided with Stalin and they sided with him. They did.
That's the way they did it in Venezuela.
Yes.
That's the way they did it with Rojas Pinilla and Nicaragua, and they did it with Batista in Cuba. They was being friends with Batista. They was earning money from Batista, and they was betraying Batista and giving guns to Fidel Castro by the same Guantanamo base that they want to take off now. They wanted to give it to her.
Once we find the United States find somebody to make those goods and they're talking to Taiwan cheaper than China, we'll screw China. That's what we're doing. We'll screw China. China knows that.
But I think
China's
that
pissed.
will not happen with Donald Trump.
So, I mean, there are a lot of other countries.
I don't think it
Bangladesh.
will happen with Donald Trump.
Exactly.
Donald Trump.
Like Vietnam.
What are you saying? I'm sorry.
There are a lot of other countries who can make cheap products. Bangladesh, Vietnam, all those countries can substitute China.
I think he's making phone calls. Why would the Taiwanese
Even
president come to Houston,
Taiwan
Texas?
can do
Why would she come to Houston, Texas, and meet with mayors and governors? And I was just saying Texas and Taiwan have had this long relationship. What? Man, Texas and Taiwan had a long relationship in exchanging goods. That's baloney. We're looking for somebody that will make those jeans and make those computers cheaper than China. And China's mad because for 30 years, you've always had to recognize just the Chinese government. And then you talk through Taiwan, through the Chinese government. You never talk directly to Taiwan. Trump's not even in office, and he made that phone call and said, can you make us this cheaper than China? And China's pissed because they see what's going on. Trump is looking for places.
And that's what I said. Trump will not play that two faces the United States used to play. He's going to take sides with one or the other.
That's right.
If he win or lose, that's up to the future.
Yeah.
But I think Donald Trump will be a refreshing government.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason why the old timers and the media doesn't want him in control. To lay down, well, I think it's too late. Something can happen from now to tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. Until he don't sign in and he swear, I will not believe that he's the president. I'm sorry, I'm be so pessimist.
Okay, but you're not afraid of an assassination or something, no? Something.
Rolando always has been. Rolando has been very worried that something might happen tomorrow. He's been praying about it. He's been telling me about it. He's always right, and he said that. I'm very worried, Chris, that they might try and do something.
I do.
Because they don't want to see this change. They don't want to see this change, man. There's a lot of people that have been getting paid to keep things the way that they are in this country.
People think the media control the government, and some people believe the government controls the media, and they wanted to keep it that way. But the worst thing that happened to this country, my friend, is the media. The mainstream media, the newspapers are the poison in this country.
Yes, absolutely.
That's why they don't like the social media and all
and papers like the Las Vegas Tribune, because you can't own him. He speaks his mind. He lets his reporters report the truth, and they don't like that.
Yeah.
See, I always tell people this. It's like when you travel. I understand when you travel you want to keep this going for another. We keep this going. You want to keep this going another half an hour, another half an hour. Half an hour is okay. What I always tell people.
But we need to take a break and say that it is crazy. No?
Let's just keep it going.
Okay.
Okay,
that's fine.
We're going to keep going a half an hour. Usually we do Chris Garcia, the conservative American, but we're just going to keep it going because we're having when you talk to Rolando about politics, this guy has more energy than Donald Trump.
For 20 million, I guess we can do what she said.
The announcement from the producer is this is now the Face the Tribune and continue on as the Chris Garcia Conservative American.
We have such
thank you, and I'll post it on both.
We have a great guest on today, but this is what I wanted to tell people. Before we came here, and Rolando, this is my mentor. I look up to him. He's like a father figure to me. And when me and my wife came back, we took a vacation. and went to see her mother in a small town in northern Nevada. Mom lives in a little itty-bitty town. And when you drove into this itty-bitty town, all you would hear on the radio or when we would watch TV on our phone was Hillary Clinton. No chance for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And then I drove into this little town where her mother lives, and all you saw were Donald Trump signs and American flags.
Oh, really?
And I said to myself, somebody's lying. Somebody's lying, because when you go and talk to the average person in this little bar or the average person in a little truck stop, all you see are Trump signs. And that's what he's talking about. The mainstream media wants to control your mind and make you believe but Trump, people were voting for Trump. They just weren't reporting it. They weren't coming out and saying it. They weren't coming up to people on the street that vote for Trump and put that on TV. All you heard was there's no chance. The great Democratic machine, Hillary is going to be a landslide. It actually turned out to be a landslide for Trump. That election was not close. It was not close.
This is exactly, but this has been going on for ages.
Yes.
When Shannon Angle was running against Harry Reid, well, she wasn't running against Harry Reid yet. She was running to run against her. And Sue Loudon was running also for the position. Shannon Angle used to be the lead. She was leading in the whole thing. And the Review Journal used to tell the people that Sue Loudon was ahead. The only place that Shannon Angle did not have was Perón. And they have somebody from the Libertarian Party. I wrote the article because I was very close to Shannon Angle at that time. I'm not anymore, but she used to come to my building. She used my office to meet with people because the media was over there in her headquarters, and she didn't want to meet with them, and the newspapers being looking at who's coming in and who's coming out. So she used to use my office to meet with people. And I know that she was ahead. I know she was getting to people. Can you read that?
Yes.
You do? Then you got good eyes.
I can't see it up close before.
I saw you was older than me. Anyway, and they used to. So I said, it's not true. It's not true. And the same thing happened with other elections and other offices. They tell you what they want. It's like they used to say that Trump was down in the polls. Trump never was down in the polls that bad. You know, the media lie because that's the way they are. They in cahoots with each other. They all good and we've been there for 30 years. Why do you think they don't want? And that's another thing Donald Trump is going to do. He's going to put term limit and those senators. And you got a Harry Reid there for 36 years. Schumer has been there for 30 years. The other guy has been there for 42 years. You know, I mean, what is this? This is an inheritance,
Right.
You know. I mean, this is what people don't like.
Now, I know you wanted to talk. One of the things you want to talk about was gangs.
Let me start with a maybe positive thing first. Recreation in marijuana was legalized in January, and the first dispensaries will open 1 year later, next year in January. And the thing we in Germany wonder about is, well, what is this going to do with the cartels' drug policies? Are they going to change to harder drugs again, like to crystal or tar heroin? Or are they going to launder their money because they invest in the legal marijuana business? What do you think about that?
They've been ahead of the game. Heroin has been back in this country for 10, 15 years. Heroin is the epidemic in this country. So they switched from weed 10, 15 years ago.
They already
okay. They're in crystal and heroin. That's where the money's at. Now, there's no money in weed. They saw this coming, and they went into black tar heroin. and crystal methamphetamine. Those bikers and those cartels are way ahead of the government. They saw this coming.
Okay.
They saw the legalization from state to state was already taking place. So, they'll still make a little. And I'm sure they'll even be in cahoots with the dispensaries in some way, shape, or form. They'll do business with them. But the big money is heroin. Heroin is the epidemic, and it's been 40, 50 years, and now it's come all the way back. Everybody's using heroin. All the kids today. It's an epidemic.
Yeah. I mean, in Europe, it's a big problem. Problem as well.
I think it is a big problem because once you do it, you cannot go back. You cannot stop. Look what happened to Ted Bundy.
Yes.
And
it's so ironic because like the German army, the Bundeswehr, is in Afghanistan and controlling with the US and controlling large parts of the country, but still all the opium and heroin comes from there to Europe. Here it's a different thing. It comes from Mexico. I heard a quotation of Chapo Guzman. I don't know if it's true, but he said if the Taliban or the Islamic State don't stop bothering his business in Asia, his man will come after the Taliban and hit the Islamic State and get after them and behead them.
Chapo Guzman is nobody to mess with. I imagine he has an army.
He means it.
He means it.
Okay.
He says. Okay. What do you think, Rolando? You think Chapo Guzman could?
I think you're right. I think, yeah.
Okay. So I was always wondering if it's a fake news in Germany. What is that or okay?
He means business.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all he's been doing since he was 12 years old, or younger than that. His father was in that business, so he learned from his father, and he went from marijuana to cocaine. And I remember when cocaine was the drug of the rich and famous. People didn't used to. If you don't have money, you cannot do cocaine. You do something else. That's marijuana, which is a stinky little cigarette and it smells like shit. But cocaine was for. We had a president in Cuba. Then he was doing cocaine like everywhere he go, he got his lines in the table, and that was the best quality. In those days there was no cuts, no nothing. And in the 50s and the 60s, there was no. It was pure thing. I have a friend, and I was told that he did a line of cocaine in Colombia. Before he went on the stage, and he got a heart attack and died on the stage. Miguelito Valdez, Mr. Babalu. And I was told that that's what happened to him. Even if he was old and everything else, he was not, he was healthy, he take vitamins, but I guess the attitude of the country and the quality of the cocaine, it was, boom.
But that's what we hear in Germany, that the quality of the heroin and the crystal right now in the US is quite pure when it comes into the country, and it's quite cheap as well compared to before.
But then they call it.
Australians come here and they go on the strip all the time, and they pay $800 for a ball. A ball of methamphetamine here is $50.
Australians, $800.
They pay $700-800, and they say that's normal where they're from.
Yeah,
that's not expensive. Like you said, $800. They're like, let me 1 second, stay here. They're like excited. Here, you want to spend more than $50. People look at you like, because you can get it anywhere. It's like, what?
It's like $30 in Germany.
Right. Right. Oh yeah, when they come here, a lot of the dealers here, when Australians come here for big conventions, they all go on the strip and that's nothing for them to spend $700-800. They feel like they're getting a deal. Like, yeah, they do.
It's quite a lot of money. Yeah.
Yes. They feel like they're getting a deal. Yeah, but they actually see what and I talked about this a few shows ago, they made the gang and drug situation in this country worse. The government did. Because where it used to be controlled, because you had, and Rolando talks about this all the time, you know, back in the 20s and 30s, you had the mob that ran everything. Yeah. And things were actually better then. It was controlled. Exactly. But then when they broke up the mob in the late 50s and 60s, the street gangs took it over. The big gangs, the Gangster Disciples, the Latin Kings, the Crips, the Bloods, they took over drug distribution in this country. And it was bad in the 60s and 70s. But they made it worse because then through the RICO Act in the 80s, they went after my gang, the Latin Kings, and the heads of the Crips and the Bloods and the Gangster Disciples, and Brown Pride, the biggest Mexican gang, and some of these gangs. And then it dispersed through the neighborhoods and through the cities, where it used to be one neighborhood in the city that you would go to buy the drugs, and everybody knew where it was at. It was contained in this little 2 or 3 mile radius in the projects, whether you be in New York or Chicago or LA. Now it's all over the city, and then it's spread out to the suburbs, because those gang members in the inner city say, well, okay, you're going to throw me out of this project and tear it down. Then I'll go out to
buy a nice house,
So then the suburban kids that had never been exposed, or you had a few suburban kids that maybe would take a chance and drive into the inner city and score. Remember, that's what they used to call it, score. Now they don't even have to drive. It's in their neighborhoods. It's out in Summerlin here. It's in Henderson. It's everywhere. They don't have to come to Fremont to score no more. Even when I first came here, and Rolando's been here for years, I used to do my little thing down here on Fremont. We used to have to get the white kids to come down here. We would protect them. Have them score the dope.
Not being scared to get ripped off.
Walk them down here on 15th Street on Fremont and walk them back to the bus or to their car so that they can get back home safe. Now they don't have to do that anymore.
It's sort of a protection.
Absolutely.
And they also have delivery.
Yes.
They have delivery.
Yes. The government made it worse by cutting. They thought that they would make it better by cutting off the head of the snake. But you actually spread the snake out. Now it's in every neighborhood, in every city, in every suburb. Drugs is everywhere now.
Yeah.
And the mob used to control that. You would have to go down to Little Italy in New York and score. Or you'd have to go to Cicero in Chicago and score. Or you'd have to go to this little neighborhood in Milwaukee and score. And everybody knew that was the street you had to go to. But it was contained. The police didn't understand. It was contained, and that guy, whether it be John Gotti or whoever, he ran that neighborhood. Nothing happened. Nobody got killed. Nothing went down unless you went and talked to Mr. Gotti or you talked to Mr. Capone. They ran those neighborhoods, and they enforced the law. It never got spread out. Rolando, the mafia ran Las Vegas. Nothing happened in Las Vegas unless the head of the mafia said for it to go down. When you take those people down, the feds take those people down. Now it spreads it out.
One of my most famous, most liked American novelists, James Ellroy, he wrote a book about Las Vegas when the mob ran Las Vegas, and he said there was a zero drug tolerance.
This is the man to talk to about that. He's been in Las Vegas.
And people dealing on the street were like beaten up very badly or eliminated or whatever.
Tell them, Rolando, how things used to be when the mob ran this.
Everything was under control.
Yes.
Everything was around. People dressed nice to go to see a show. It used to be classy joints, you know. But I don't know if they are so desperate for money that they allow anybody. But it is also, and I don't think it's really the drugs. It's just the attitude of the people, you know. In the old days, you go into a national television show, you dress proper to be in front of the camera. Now you see the people with jogging shoes and Bermuda, and they sit there like this, you know. There's no class anymore. And they used to have jackets in the lounges.
Yes.
They used to have, you don't have a jacket? No, I didn't bring a jacket. I didn't know I need a jacket. Well, here's a jacket. Put a jacket on. In the lounge, in the showroom, you had to dress with a suit and a tie.
That's true. I stayed a lot in 5-star hotels in the U.S. or, really good hotels.
5-star hotels.
Sometimes there is no difference between a beggar sitting on the street and some guy sitting in the lobby being a guest there. And, that's true.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
It's no more a 5-star hotel except the money, the price of the room, that's all. And any garbage motel charge you $80 a day nowadays. It's not. I remember in the 60s or 70s, I used to go to New York, and it wasn't a first-class hotel. It was a middle-class hotel, like the Century Paramount or the Edison. They were like something that everybody knew, those hotels. It was an icon. That's what it was. I didn't want to stay in the Americana and pay $100 a night for a room that I probably don't even use it. And I stay in the Edison Hotel or Century Paramount. My friend Miguelito Valdez got me a deal. I got a room there for $8. I got a suite for $14 a night. Why would I pay $100 in the Americana Hotel for one room when I can get a suite for $14? And I know that the prices was kind of like that in those days. I'm talking about the 70s, early 70s, but now you go to LA and any piece of trash, it costs you $100,
But let me come back to the gangs. Are the gangs basically local gangs which are supplied by the Mexican drug cartels, or are they sort of like subordinated to the cartels?
There are no gangs no more.
No gangs no more. Okay.
These aren't gangs.
Okay.
These are a bunch of kids that they hire.
And this is the difference between now and then. Before there was rules even within the gang. Now everybody wants to be the man in the block, the man in the area. Everybody go grab their own stuff, they cut it, they split it, and there's not rules, it's not ethics, because in the old days, even the criminals have ethics. They respect each other, because they knew the consequence of not respecting the other people. Now it's not class anymore.
Well, see, that's why they used to call them, Rolando is absolutely right, but that's why they used to call them criminal families, organizations, familia. The reason why the Latin Kings were the same way, I was a big Latin King member in Chicago, and when I was coming up in the 60s and the 70s, and me and my nephew, King Philippe, you can Google us, we basically started the Latin Kings on the south side of Chicago, that chapter.
I've heard about the
That's
Latin
my
Kings.
nephew. We sent him to Bronx, New York, and he started the chapter in New York City, and he's doing life in the penitentiary right now, but we called it Mi Familia because it was family. And what happened was, when I would go to prison, and I did time, or when King Philippe would go to prison, my name was King Cuba, that was my name. When we would go to prison, we would have our subservients run the organization until we got out. Well, they would make phone calls to us, we would make phone calls to them and tell them what we wanted to happen, how much dope we wanted, how much on each block we wanted sold, what we needed to have taken out. We would give them what's called orders, right?
So loyalty, right?
Loyalty.
Okay.
But when we got locked up, a lot of the people that were running the gangs were lazy. They didn't have, because they weren't in on the beginning, they didn't have the pride of the family like we did. So what happens is you go get a 14-year-old kid to do your job, right? That 14-year-old kid doesn't have the same loyalty that you did or that we did to the gang. Right? So what they began to do, they don't follow orders. They steal from the gang. They start chopping up the dope and making money on the side themselves. That's what began the actual chopping up of the dope and weakening the dope, because you had kids taking a little bit themselves. they would go to the store, get chemicals, mix it up, chop it up, and double their money, right? Because they weren't loyal. Now that killed our product, that killed our name, that killed the trust from the drug addicts in the neighborhood. And also, when you pick up a 14-year-old kid and you take them in the back of an office, and you got 2 federal officers talking to them, they're gonna talk. Because they're scared.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Whereas us hardened criminals, we're going to say, give me my lawyer. That's the first thing you're going to say. I got nothing to say to you. Where's my lawyer? Where's my attorney? Right? That's what brought down people think this person, they call them snitches.
Yeah.
They were not grown. Those are lies when the federal government parades these people that they go to prison and say this guy was a snitch. They are lying. And that's why they put those people in witness protection. Okay. Because they lied on them. They said they snitched, right? And they're using them. That man has been in that criminal organization for 30 years, did not turn on John Gotti. Some kid in Brooklyn turned on him that they were supplying drugs to. They go around and snatch those kids.
I think what happened is also maybe the kid didn't know John Gotti, but he knew Sammy Bull.
Right.
And Sammy Bull got down. And you know, you have to realize that the government is an expert on poison.
Yes.
You know, they probably put somebody else next to him and said, you know, John Gotti is trying to give you.
Exactly.
He's going to give you. You know, John Gotti never had the idea of giving anybody up.
Everywhere the same in the world. They work the way they work.
That's right.
You know. And you see that in TV now. They put one guy in one room and the other guy in the other room.
Right.
Well, you know, your friend is in the other room talking, and he would never do that. Oh yeah, your friend is in the other room, you know, and the best thing is go back to the old days.
That's right.
Give me my lawyer.
That's right.
That's all. What is your name? Give me my lawyer.
Absolutely. You know. But see, that's the thing is that you would give a kid $100 to stand here and watch the block of this, that, and the other, but they actually weren't in the game. See, once you get a 15-year-old kid in the game, and the reason that they're joining that game is because they don't feel like they got respect or loved by their own family members.
Yeah, true.
So because I know that was even with me, and my parents loved me to death, but I didn't feel it. I felt like this dude down the block loved me more than my own dad did, right? Okay. So, but the thing about it, why you couldn't trust me at 15 years old is the same reason my dad couldn't trust me at 15 years old, because I wasn't loyal. Okay. I wasn't loyal to my own family, so what the hell make you think I'm going to be loyal to you?
Right.
And that's what people don't understand, that when you hire these kids, and see, the gangs have gotten so weak and down, they hire these kids to perform criminal activities because they're afraid of prison time themselves. And they know the most that kid is going to get sent to juvie, right? Because he doesn't have a record yet, right? But that kid has no loyalty. That kid didn't have loyalty to his own family. He would steal his own dad's stuff. So what do you think he's going to do when a police officer gets him in the back of that car? I see them downtown all the time. They take these kids, they ride them around the block, they let them out. What do you think that kid was doing in the back of that car? He was saying where the drug house was at because he's scared. Well, you tell us we're going to take you to jail. Well, what Johnny's doing, the house right there. They're scared. You take a 40-year-old in the back of that car, you're like, man, what the hell you got me in the back of this car for? I'm not going to get killed telling you no information. But when you're 15, you're scared.
You're
scared.
That was before. Now, a 40 years old man, you don't even have to pressure. They said, let's make a deal.
Right.
You know, there's no loyalty anymore. That's why the so-called mafia has deteriorated so much, because there is not loyalty anymore. You know, that's it. I remember one, the police, they used to tell me that, well, we can find anything because those Cubans don't talk. Well, the Cubans talk now better than anybody. You know, I mean, I remember one time there was a shooting in a discotheque right next door to Circus, and I asked the lieutenant, I said, you find out anything? We can't find nothing. There's Cubans fighting. They don't talk. So, well, in a way, it made me feel proud. But you know, at least we got some quality, you know, some dignity. But now the problem is, then everybody talk before they even, hey, don't touch me. I can tell you anything you want. And if they don't know anything, they invent. They create something. I thought the police told me that. I said, I can't lie. No, what was it? I said, would you want me to lie? Well, call it whatever you want.
The media has a lot to do with it because where they got intelligent. See, Rolando is right. He remembers in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s when you was part of a criminal organization, man, you would rather die or go do your 20 years than rat on that organization. Yeah. But see, what happened was the media, and I always say this, the government in general is very intelligent. And especially, I know this for a fact in the African-American community, people like Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and Ice T.
He's supposed to be a snitch. That's what they say in Europe.
Absolutely was, and we laughed at them. Yeah. When these white people portray them on TV as being gangsters and Crips and Bloods, people in the inner city where I'm from, Ice Cube wouldn't drive down my neighborhood with 10 guns. He's a punk and he's a snitch. And that's how he became an actor and a rapper.
Right.
Those people came to our neighborhoods, and the real rappers, the real people that can rap, they didn't choose none of them. They chose the local snitch, put a gold chain on him, and said he's Ice, this, that, the other. Ice-T was never a Crip or a Blood or a pimp a day in his life. Never.
Same in Europe.
He's from the suburbs. Ice Cube and them are from the suburbs. Yeah. They're not even from L.A. They never lived a day in L.A. in their life. Snoop Dogg from Pasadena. He ain't never lived a day in Los Angeles in his life. Never.
It's just what I wrote in my last novel, Building Gangsters, about, you know, gangster rappers just being posers, and there's nothing behind that.
I take you to the south side of Chicago and let you meet some real gangsters that rap. They sit on the park bench and write and rhyme all day. Okay. He's never going to get a deal.
I've been to
never.
Gang that he tried, which was scary enough, actually. So, but I'll come back to that.
You know what I'm talking about. They're not going to choose them to come in the studio and rap. No way in the world. They go get these posers. They dress them up and do a Jerry curl and put a gold chain on them. And they're not. We laugh. Real gangsters
laugh. They act rude. They pose.
What have we got? 8 minutes left?
Just
7 minutes left. Okay, now let me, because you've been writing and you've been talking and you've been interviewing her. I want to interview you now.
Okay.
Why?
Fair enough.
Why did you pick the Las Vegas Tribune?
Well, because I was looking for contacts in Las Vegas, and you were corresponding to me first, and that's why we came into touch. And then...
Yeah, but did you try any other newspaper?
Yeah, I did.
And they didn't answer you back?
No, not really. And then I read that your profile of the newspaper is very interesting, and that you're committed to the truth.
That's right.
That you're away from the mainstream media, and I see the problem with the mainstream media here and in Europe on the same level. So I thought this would be a very interesting meeting, and it definitely was. Yeah.
Wow.
So I wanted to have another perspective. Tomorrow I'm going to go to interview Phil Lash, the Grateful Dead bass player.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, you know, I have several appointments here in Las Vegas, but you're the only newspaper man who wanted contact with me. Yeah.
Nobody sent you here.
No, nobody sent me.
Well, it's too late to ask you that question. We already finished the conversation. But I have nothing to hide. That's why. Okay.
I'm a freelancer. I'm a novelist. I'm an author, and I write for several magazines in Germany. Yeah.
Who do you? Well, I don't want to know names, but how many people did you write in the daily paper?
Excuse me.
How many? How many people did you contact in the daily paper?
Here in Las Vegas, I think I tried about 4 or 5 contacts, but
no one
answered. No.
That's how
they are.
That's how rude they are. They see.
I wrote them the topics, same as I did. I want to talk about the legalization of recreational marijuana, about the cartels, policies and all that.
Oh, they wouldn't talk to you about that.
No.
There's no way they wouldn't talk to you about that. No.
But first of all, the first thing they know about that is what the police tell them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they all do this stuff through a source.
Yeah.
That's all. And the source they got is either the prosecutor or the police. You know, that's all they have. And you don't get the information that you want by going to a man with a badge.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, you have to go to the other side.
That's right, Rolando.
And
Perfect.
they don't have that kind of connection.
Thank you very much for being so honest.
Absolutely.
and you know, letting me get a real perspective on the things they are.
I had a guy do it. It was weird, man. This is like almost 30 years ago, but I had like a freelance guy. He was from Britain. He came to the south side of Chicago, and he wanted to know about my nephew, who was King Philippe, and he started the Latin Kings, and he's doing a life sentence. And he did a little documentary with me, and he was just shocked. I mean, it's almost like, you know, we was talking about the Mexican drug lord, but all he had heard was this, that, and the other, and bad, and this, that, and the other. He took a walk with me through the streets, and he couldn't believe the love that I was getting in the streets, and the love. People was asking about my nephew and how's he doing. People was like, man, they used to do so much for the community, and then you have to go talk to the real people. You can't listen to this mainstream media stuff because they're going to portray you the way they. When you go tell what's his name, El Chapo, you go talk to the people that live in those towns where he helped out, the schools that he built, the roads that he built.
They didn't even let the police go there.
Man,
they didn't let the police
did a
go.
lot of good for people. A lot of good. A lot of good.
That's what I heard too, or what I read.
Absolutely. Absolutely. See, they're just mad because the government can't control that. See, that's it. They're not getting their cut because he has his own organization and they don't pay taxes. You understand?
That's why they legalized marijuana, right?
Absolutely.
They want their piece of the cake.
Absolutely.
That's my opinion. I don't know.
Let me give you a little piece of advice.
Yeah.
Because you look like you're a little younger than me, right?
A
little bit. Okay? What we talk over here is my own experience, his own experience, and my opinion. It doesn't mean that everything has to be exactly the same way.
No.
If you can get another opinion, it will make your story much better than
Thank you.
You know, I always tell people, this is the way I think, that's my opinion, this is my point of view. Now find the other one, and then you put them together, and you become the new king.
The news king, or best-seller king.
Thank you very much.
So glad to meet you.
Thank
you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much.
Good to meet you. Thank you guys for watching today. Face the Tribune with the legendary Rolando Larraz. Special guest Stefan Schweizer was on with us today. He's a freelance journalist and a teacher of political science. He's from Germany. What an interesting conversation.
Very.
Streaming live, of course, on Facebook, Radio Tribune. You can listen to us. The show will be repeated. And Google us later. We had a special edition, Face the Tribune. We went an hour and a half today. I mean, we've been so blessed. Great show.
A combination.
Don't
take your shows off.
No. This is the legend.
Conservative America, right?
I just one day hope to be able to follow in his footsteps. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to be up on YouTube in a couple of hours. Have a wonderful weekend, but you can again listen to our shows. We're going to be off tomorrow because Rolando is going to the inauguration, so we're going to be off tomorrow. he can't take me because my wife won't let me go, so I'm going to be stuck here in Las Vegas, and she won't let me go because every place he goes, every place he goes, he gets all the beautiful young women, so I cannot go with him. He might take this guy. You said, I think you're back.
No, I'm gonna. Yeah, I could go, but I'm gonna see some great potentials here.
Okay.
So yeah.
And please pray for Donald Trump. Pray that he is able to swear in and become the 45th president of this great nation.
Yes.
Because he needs all the praise we can get.
Yes. God bless America and God bless our troops all over the world. Godspeed to Donald Trump.